Welcome to the Q.A.C. Team podcast series with your host, Charles Luttrell. Our series features leaders and business owners in your community discussing the customer experience, employee satisfaction, and performance improvement. Our series will help share strategic ideas for coaching and mentoring through mystery shopping in a post-pandemic economy. And now here's your host, Charles Luttrell.
Hello, everyone. I am here with Ann. Ann, are you with me?
I am, yes.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you for interviewing with me on the podcast today. Appreciate it.
Sure. Happy to be.
Awesome. So tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Ann Costello, and I am the founder of Sofi's Crepes, which is a small crepe shop we started on Charles Street, and then we have other locations throughout Maryland.
Oh, that's great. So I noticed you have two. So you're opening up more?
Well, we actually had 6 before the pandemic. And yeah, it's been a little in the pandemic, but we still have 3 locations, and we may be adding as time goes on. We'll see what happens here.
Oh, that's great. Getting back in it, getting more locations. That's awesome. So my first response when I was thinking about interviewing you, how do I say that CREPE word?
Well, yeah, that's a good one. I say crepes. I know many people crepes, and in my mind, I think it's potato, tomato, same kind of thing.
Right. But it's not crepes; it's crepes or
right.
Or crepe.
No, it is. It's crepe or crepe.
Crepe.
I do have that come in and ask for creepies, and but we know what they're talking about.
Creepies. Crepes. That's the fancy word for it. Well, when I come in, I'm gonna ask for crepes. And you'll know it's me.
What you wanted. That's all we have.
Right. That's all you have. Right. Oh, man. So why did you decide to be a business owner?
Well, I actually was a stockbroker and working in the corporate world for about 16 years. And I was not really thrilled with it. I just didn't, I don't know. I was feeling pretty stifled. And I took a leave of absence from my job, and I went and cooked on the Pride of Baltimore, which is a tall ship out of Baltimore. And I did that for 3 months, and came back to my job as a stockbroker. I was like, I cannot do this. I cannot work in an office. I can't work under fluorescent lights. And I really loved cooking, and I had spent a lot of time in France. And I just thought, you know what, maybe they sure work over there, and we could probably do some more here. And so that was my concept. And I just decided that was going to be what I was going to be, and see how it went. And it worked.
I was going to say it. Obviously, it worked pretty well. You said you've been doing pretty good now. It's great.
Yep.
So the corporate world was not for you either, huh? I spent 16 years in the corporate world, and I had to get out.
Yep. Oh yeah. That was I was 16 also, and I was like, enough is enough.
Yep. Yeah. At the 10 to 15 markers when it started getting, what am I doing?
Right.
Although I loved what I did because it was still in customer service, and that's what I really love. The coaching, the mentoring, development, I had to get out of that office environment. I had to get out.
I can relate.
Right. So I guess we can expand on, because the next question obviously is, why did you choose your industry? So I guess you can expand on that a little bit, because you said you went to France, and you've been in France a lot, and that's where your inspiration comes for the crepes, I guess.
Yeah. Actually, That was my first crepe was in Paris, and it was a freezing cold night, and I was walking and got just a butter and sugar crepe, and like changed my world. It was amazing. It was so delicious, and I just thought it was the best thing I'd ever eaten. So
The only time I've had crepes, I was in, where was I? I think I was in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and a friend of mine had introduced me to them. I'm like, well, what is that little thing? It was on the flat round thing, and they're
mm,
pouring this like dough on it. Like, what is that? He's like, oh, wait till you have it. And I had it was like a Nutella crepe.
great.
Oh
Yep.
man, it was incredible.
Yep. They're one of the best. Yep.
One of the best. One of the best. I love them. Now, are they all the same size, or can you make them different sizes?
Well, at the shop, we standardize the size.
Okay.
But you can make them small. If you make them at home, you can use a pan, you can use a 10-inch pan, an 8-inch pan, a 12-inch pan. You can make it however big you want it.
Yeah, but isn't there don't you have to have the knack for that right thickness? So when you pour it into the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really important. But actually, the thing that makes the difference is the batter. So have the right batter, then
Uh-huh.
it's a lot easier to maneuver, spinning the crepe or turning the crepe.
Yeah. And you said you have classes for that? You do classes?
Um, I don't really do classes. We offer some packages where we you can book a night and have a party and make your own crepes. And we do teach you how to do it. So that, we do that. But um, uh, I have a cookbook that teaches you how to make it.
Oh,
During the pandemic, I actually wrote a cookbook.
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome. And how
that,
would we get that book? Is it through Amazon?
you can get it on Amazon.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, we'll have to look
Sure.
at that up. Yeah, that's awesome. So we talked about, the last question about the next before the last, we're talking about the pandemic. But what are some of the challenges that you face? I mean, I know you've lost some locations and you're rebuilding. What are some
Right.
of the challenges that you see?
I'll tell you, the pandemic was really hard because our location, not all of the locations, but some of them were really, I mean, for example, our flagship shop was next to Charles Theater, which is kind of an art theater, and also where a lot of colleges were. So people weren't to movies, people weren't in school, and so our customer base just completely dried up during
Yeah.
COVID. And people have come back to the movies somewhat, but it's not like it was.
Hmm.
So we're still recovering from that. But I'll tell you, the worst thing for us right now is inflation. It is killing.
Mm.
We used to, I mean, the price of eggs, which we go through so many eggs, we go through at least 30 dozen eggs a week, and the price has absolutely tripled this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and that's just one of our items. So it's really, really difficult right now, is that you just can't raise prices. I don't want to raise my prices to make it not affordable for my customers. And I wouldn't want to pay, $20 for crepe. And, so our margins being squeezed and squeezed. So that honestly is one of the absolute big things right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. And, you know, you were talking about with the pandemic, because where you're located, all the college kids, when COVID hit, they all went home. So I can
Right.
understand how that just dried up your market because there's
Yep.
just nobody there. Yeah. And were you able to use DoorDash or Uber Eats or anything that would deliver for you, or was that something
Yeah.
that you could do?
We did use those services. But that also, I mean, they really, they're convenient, but they cut into our profit margins because we have to pay them, which is, we have to delivery. So, it just is hard. Those services are good and they're convenient, but it's not the best for our business just because they do take a pretty good percentage, and it also takes away from your existing customers when you've got all these online orders, and then your real customers are standing there and they're kind of wondering, well, why aren't you waiting on me? Well, it's because
Mhm.
5 orders ahead of them, so
Right.
that they
Yeah, that
can't.
was right. And that's what I was going to mention to you. I know those delivery companies charge a lot of money, and that was my next question to that was it profitable for using them? Because I know, like you said, you don't want to raise prices, but I know you have to raise them for the delivery. So it had to be a tough balance and a challenge for you, right?
Yeah, yeah, it really was. It is. I mean, and we the delivery, because if it was delivery, we might not have had any business, because really the first 6 months we hardly had anybody coming down to the area where we were located at some of our locations. Now we have a shop in Annapolis, and really, they maintain pretty well because they're sort of touristy area, and a lot of people would be able to be outside, and they're handheld. You can take them to go, so that helped.
Right, right. Yeah, I was looking at your locations, and when I saw it was Annapolis at Craig Street. Is that from across from Harbor Master
It
City
is,
Dock?
yeah. It's right by the entrance of the Naval Academy, so
I know that
we
very well.
have lots of midshipmen that love Sophie's crepes.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's keeping you thriving, right?
That
That's awesome. So let's talk about um, what's behind the name. I love this story.
Yeah. Well, Sophie was a dog, and she was actually she was paralyzed, and she had one of those carts, and she would just fall all around, and it just never slowed her down. I mean, she would run the hill and she would topple over, and then you'd go pick her up and she'd continue running. And
Wow.
so when I was opening my shop, I was so inspired by her and her, just, I don't know, her love of life, and I just decided I was going to name the business after her.
And that
Sophie.
fits. It
Yeah.
fits. That fits so well. It's like Sophie's Crepes. It works.
Yeah.
And I like
Uh,
how you say she was such an inspiration, and her joy and light spirit and playfulness. That is just awesome.
right.
And I like the little picture you got up there. It's such a cute little doggy.
She's a cutie. Yes.
Oh man. Oh, I hear something in the background.
There's a doggy in the background. That's Sophie's like third predecessor. That's
Oh wow.
Tilly.
That's awesome.
She wants to get
Awesome.
into the action here.
Yeah. She's hearing you. She's like, I need to get involved here.
Right.
So do you have any awards and honors?
Um, yes, we do. We have, a couple of, over the years, we have a Brava Award, which is women. It's Smart CEO puts that out. And the Maryland Restaurant Association, and some other publications. We do a lot of nonprofit donations. We are very involved in the community in
Mhm.
donating our services over the last almost 20 years. That's how long we've been in business. So
Wow.
yeah.
Great. Yeah, I see that. So the first award was the Smart CEO. That was the Bravo Award for Top Female CEO in 2012.
Right.
That's awesome. And then the YWCA, the Special Leadership Award in 2013.
Oh, right. Yeah, got
Yeah.
that.
And then, of course, the cornerstone of the industry award for the Maryland Restaurant Association in 2015.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Congratulations. Now, when's the next one coming from 2022 and 2023, right?
Exactly.
The
Yes.
Rebound Award, right?
Right. No, the fact that we're still standing, I'll tell you, that's, honestly, I admire the businesses that have made it through because I know how hard it's been. I really do.
Yeah. And as I do these interviews, I talk to a lot of people, those last two questions, what are your challenges and how's the pandemic changed your business model? Those two questions, man, it's people really dig into that, and they're thankful that they're still in business.
Yes.
And now, have you had to change your business model since the pandemic? Has anything changed?
I mean, it has changed. We had to change our hours, which we used to be open late night and we are no longer open late night. Just because staffing, I had to cut back a little bit. So, and we are doing more delivery now than we initially had. But our product has remained exactly the same. I mean, we have never cut our portion sizes or anything like that. And,
Mhm.
we just, I mean, I want to offer a really good service and good customer service and a delicious product. And as long as we can do that, we'll stay open.
Absolutely. Now, you said you had to cut back on your staff now, and that hurts your hours. So, are you? Do you feel you're staffed okay now, or are you still like looking for people? Or
Well, we're, because the most so thin, we have to be not to, get staffing can be a big expense. So
absolutely,
we keep it at a pretty lean staff. Um, and but I think it's adequate. So
uh huh.
yeah.
Who's your top crepe maker?
Oh, that's a good question. I would have to. You'd have to kill me to find that answer out because they may be listening. They're all great, honestly, fabulous. We've been so lucky over these just
Yeah,
stellar employees. We really, really, really do.
that's awesome. Now, the answer to that was supposed to be you were supposed to be the top maker, and everybody
Well,
follows you, and they're just
yeah,
as
you
good
know
as
what?
you, right?
I'm going to be honest. The time when maybe that's true, but they can just go
Yeah,
in with those and whip one out, and it's
I just whip it
amazing.
out. Wow, that's crazy. I cannot wait to try these. Now, what different do they come in like different? You have like different ways, like different flavors, and what's the menu like on these?
Well, we have they're kind of divided between sweet crepes and savory. And honestly, the most popular are the savory, and that is more like meat and cheese and vegetables. So, for example, our two top sellers, we have one called the Kevin Bacon, which we named after there was a movie playing at the Kevin Bacon, and we created this crepe and it had bacon in it, so we called it the bacon.
That's pretty
And
cool.
Kevin Bacon was in town. He arranged to get some crepes to him, and he them and we've worked with their non-profit organization called 6 Degrees of Separation, and we've donated some of our profit, popped up and stood behind the counter and treated customers, and so it's been fun. It really
That's
has.
cool. That's a
Really
story.
good. Yeah, it's so good. It's tomatoes, cheddar cheese, uh, turkey, um, Thousand Island dressing, and bacon, and it's really good.
That sounds good. Now, I'm a more of a sweets guy, so I would have rolled right past your savory crepes and go right into the sweet.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Yes.
Right.
And like you suggested, the Nutella is delicious. That's probably there's Nutella and banana. People really like that.
I can only imagine that. I mean, Nutella is awesome.
Yes.
Now you got the plain Jane.
Yeah, the plain Jane is just a plain, and then you can choose your topping like cinnamon and sugar or lemon and sugar, jams or brown sugar or whatever.
And can I come in and like say I want my own special kind of
Yeah.
crepe, or is it
Yeah,
like
you can make your own crepe. You can add whatever you want, and yep, we'll make it for you.
wow? If I come in and say I want to bring in a tablespoon of Jo spice and Old Bay and put some crab meat on it.
Oh, well,
Is-
turn you down if you bring your own ingredients.
that is
So,
awesome. Wow. So what is your favorite crepe?
I go through phases. I really love them all because I created the menu, but lately I like the banana rama, which is peanut butter, banana, granola, and honey. That's really good. It's sort of like is a mix between sweet and savory.
Oh, that does sound good. Wow. And then you got the banana royale.
Yes.
And you say it's homemade butterscotch. You make.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, I'm just looking over your menu here and like my stomach's growling.
Yeah.
Like, I need to drive there now and just fill my sweet tooth with that.
You should do it.
And what are your hours now?
At our Baltimore location on Charles Street, there it's 11:30. So we do lunch and dinner there Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, from 11:30 to 7 and 8 on the weekends. And then in Annapolis, Vernon Park, we open a little earlier for breakfast, uh, 8 a.m. and open and close around 8 p.m. But they have a couple days where they're Monday and Wednesday. So,
Ah, gotcha.
but you can get our hours on our website if you go there.
Okay, and that is
www.sophiescrepes.com.
and that's SOFIS
Yes.
CREPES.
Yes.
For the people who might not hear that properly, I wanted to spell it for them.
Thank you. Yeah, most people would spell it differently, but I shortened the PH and made it an F, and it stuck.
I'm glad you made that clarification because at first I was SOPHIE. I'm like, it's coming up SOFI. Okay,
Right.
it's different.
Right.
And then when I saw the little dog, I was like, oh my God, look at the picture. I showed it to my daughter and read the story. I'm like, oh man, this is a great story.
Yeah.
Appreciate you sharing. Now, is she still alive or
No,
no?
she after I opened, but she was a sweetheart. She was about close to 12 years old before
Oh,
she passed.
yeah. Wow. She lived a good life.
She did.
Wow. That's awesome. And how else can we contact you if it's not on your website? You have Facebook,
Yep,
Instagram.
we have Instagram and Facebook. I think we have Twitter. I don't know. I don't Twitter, but and they're all under Sophie's Crepes, SOFISCREPES.
That's awesome. Great. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
Now, do you have anything else that you would like to add?
No, we are just, we're happy to be a mainstay for the crepes in the Baltimore and Annapolis area, and we appreciate all the support that you guys, that our customers and given us all these years. So that's pretty much what we wanted to say. And hope everybody has a great holiday season.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And normally I kind of end with for our listeners, if there were like you could offer a promo or something for our listeners, but if if that could be if that's a struggle right now, then I would say I get it, but
Yeah, well, I mean, if they want to mention that they heard this interview, we could probably uh, arrange for a % discount on their order.
oh wow, that would be really awesome. And is there any minimum you want to add to that?
No,
20 a box of 25 crepes,
right,
because I'm not going to eat just one. I'm going to have 25.
right.
Oh man. Well, Anne, I really appreciate you coming on and telling your story.
Sure.
It's been great. I will make a visit, and
Great.
I will and you're normally at the downtown location.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
usually on there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't get to Annapolis that often. I'm not down there that much.
Uh-huh.
Because I live in Hartford County. So, and I get down to the Baltimore area frequently. So I
Right.
will stop in and say hi and
That's
order up some crepes and
sounds
enjoy them.
wonderful.
Awesome. Well, Ann, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on,
Sure.
and hope you enjoy your holiday.
Thank you very much. You too.
Thank you, and take care. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
You've been listening to the Q.A.C. Team podcast with your host, Charles Luttrell. Today, we took you beyond the restaurant table and into the kitchen with leaders and business owners in your community. For more information, visit us at QACteam.com or Facebook and Instagram at QAC.team. Thanks for listening.